Welcome to the Nerd Party.
Want to be a part of the Nerd Party community? Don't forget to like our Facebook page at www.facebook.com/thenerdparty and follow us on Twitter at @JoinNerdParty. You can also help us by leaving a rating and comment in Apple Podcasts to help spread Time and Space to other listeners. If you want to contact us, visit thenerdparty.com/contact, click on our show logo, and leave a comment for us there. Time and Space, a Doctor Who podcast. I'm Jessica Nunn.
And I'm her husband and co-host, Phillip Gilfus. What are we talking about today, darling?
All the things.
All the things.
All the things.
You've been pretty busy lately.
I have been incredibly busy. I did your show.
Right.
For the Greensboro Fringe, so I directed that.
Mm-hmm.
And then we collectively had some murder mystery shows to perform last weekend, and then I'm currently in rehearsal for a show that goes up at the end of this month, and I had auditions for a second show today. So
yes, so we're doing a double feature.
Yes,
we're going to be reviewing Can You Hear Me and
The Haunting of Villa Diodati.
There you go. They premiered respectively 9 February and 16 February 2020. And we'll also be talking inside the TARDIS library about the Big Finish production with the Eighth Doctor called Living Legend.
Indeed.
Well, let's start with Can You Hear Me?
Yep.
Would you like to read the synopsis?
I would love to. What connects the nightmares of a young girl from 1380 Aleppo to strange happenings in the present day? Who is the shadowy figure who appears in the night? And what have they got to do with a young woman in the far future, trapped in an impossible prison? Time catches up to the Doctor's friends, whose wants and dreams are set on colliding. They must now embark on a mission that will draw out their innermost fears to be confronted.
So we get another Earth story, of course.
Yep.
if you haven't been watching Series 12 and not realizing that that's just what it's going to be. So, and we go back to sort of the present time for some reason, because we later find out, well, kind of find out what. Yaz wants to be back at home at a certain time in a certain place, and the Doctor's a little late. But anyway, so this is kind of a, in my words, and maybe not yours because we watch this separately, kind of a character episode.
Kind of. Yes, I mean, it definitely is. Mm-hmm. It raises a lot of questions.
Sure. Well, let's raise those questions, too, and maybe make up some answers. So,
all right.
This Shar, friend of the show, asked me, there's a Star Trek Voyager episode, which name currently escapes me for the second. But anyway, it guest stars, very famous Canadian comic actor whose brain name is leaving my head for a second. But anyway, he basically plays the embodiment of fear. And Janeway has to literally defeat the embodiment of fear. And so Shar was asking me who defeated fear better, the Doctor or Janeway. So we were comparing tales. But, so this one we have more or less the Doctor having to combat the nightmare, fear, and all that. But I think, and we'll get to that, but I think what's more interesting, at least for me, was the different companions who, once they get back to Earth and get sucked into this nightmare, whatever you want to call it, we get to learn a little bit more about their fears. I suppose it's sort of a cheap way to learn about a character is to address their fears, but that's what we do. So in no particular order, we get Graham and his fear of cancer, which is certainly understandable.
Yes, he has been in remission. He has gotten the all clear for quite some time now. But of course, that experience always stays with you. And so, yes, that his fear is that the cancer will return.
It was interesting to see
Grace?
an attempt. Well, yes. But I was going to say, we kind of get everyone's flavor of their lives. That their lives, such as they are, because they sort of also make the commentary that, these people have to explain why they keep disappearing and leaving and have been gone. But anyway, we get kind of this picture of what their lives are like outside of the TARDIS and outside of the fellow companions. Graham has his poker game or whatever he has, which I thought was interesting, sort of his old man club. But now it seems we are getting the Graham and glasses look. That's becoming more permanent. That started the episode in Praxius. I think it's the first time we saw him with the glasses.
Okay.
But now he's doing that, which for an older man he looks. I think he should keep the glasses. It's a good look for him.
Makes him look dignified.
Yeah, or something. Makes him look like a older gentleman. But I like, one thing I like about how Graham is written, and this is like later in the episode, well, maybe midway, when he's talking about the sphere with the Doctor, and he's really explaining, because I with talking about other shows and other podcasts I do, sometimes I see characters act, to me, illogically. Now I know, as a writing tool, that can be quote-unquote helpful, because then that creates conflict. This character is acting bad or villainy or whatever, then that's but I mean, like, well, that doesn't make sense what they're doing, though. But this here, Graham's like, I've been checked out, it's everything's great, but it's still always there.
Yes.
And so, like, he's sort of like, logically he knows he's fine. And he is fine, but...
Yeah.
And so, but in his fear, of course, Grace returns as his previous nurse or PA or whatever she was, and 5 minutes to live or something. Yeah.
Yes, yeah, doesn't know him first of all,
right.
And then 5 minutes to live. Yeah, a few minutes is what she says, I believe.
And I do think it's interesting how his buddies ask him about, which I don't know in real life how I don't know how long it's been. I don't know how long you keep asking. Yeah. By the way, how are you doing it with your dead wife? But, he still says the traveling, and the Doctor is obviously helping him. He doesn't have to think about it, I guess. So. But anyway, anything else about Graham?
Yeah, this particular snippet, and to an extent they all do, felt a little disjointed. Mm-hmm. It's like Chibnall, and I don't know if Chibnall actually wrote this. He
co-wrote.
One. Okay.
Which I've noticed, I don't know what to take. Chibnall keeps taking a lot of co-writing credit, and I don't know. Nah. So anyway.
But it sort of feels like Chibnall read on Twitter that fans are sad that we don't get any history on characters, on our companions. And so he's like, plop. Off you go.
Now, one thing, and I don't know if I'm allowed to do 2 episodes at the same time, but in Can You Hear Me, Graham is the one who gets the vision of who we find out to be the Eternal, but basically the vision of the woman in the prison, whatever. But it's interesting that he's the only one that gets it. And then in this episode, which
the only one who
we just
sees
watched,
the
Haunting, he's the only one who sees the ghost.
Ah, interesting.
So Graham seems to be getting the one who has the most sympathetic or telepathic or empathetic, or I don't know.
Yeah.
So like Yaz gets captured and transported, Graham gets visions.
Yep.
I'm not sure.
Those are the things.
Ryan doesn't necessarily have a real thing yet.
He has a flirt.
Yeah, that's true.
He gets his flirt
Awkward
on.
flirt.
Awkward flirt on, yeah.
And they all end up being bad. All right, well, moving on. Yaz.
Yep.
So this
is the most disjointed one, in my opinion.
And theoretically is the most prominent of the 3 companion fears. So, because it's the reason we're there, and we get the most flashy backy. Mm-hmm. But anyway, you talk to me about Yaz's life-changing event and the fear and something that I don't know.
Right, so there was a death, and that is what she and her sister are remembering. It is unclear whether it's a friend or a sister, because it felt a little like that, like an older sister kind of thing. But that is not made clear. And then we also get Yaz's flashback to a few years before, 3 years before, I think, when she had run away and was feeling very, very blue, presumably around the death of this other girl. But again, that's not made clear.
Sorry, and this is going to sound so racist, and it probably is. Was that her sister that she was seeing, or was that another person that she was seeing in the road? Not the police officer.
No, it was I think it was the dead girl.
See, that was...
Sonia?
I don't know.
I feel like they said.
Okay. I was confused, too, because I was like... Yeah. I mean, was it a friend? Was it a sister? And I thought something had happened, that there was going to be some traumatic scene with the PC there... And then it was just like, then it's revealed, oh no, Jazz is just on the road talking to a PC. I'm like, well, that, okay.
And again, that it ties in a little bit to Ryan's mental health. It gets better. It also gives us perhaps a little insight into why Yaz chooses to go into police work.
And I thought that was an interesting thing.
Yeah, I did too. Again, I really liked the pieces of this.
Needed more.
It just didn't come together for me completely. I liked the fact that then she goes to the police officer and is like, here's my, your 50p, 50p. Yeah. You were right. It did get better. But even that, we just get a glimpse of. We don't get to see Yaz tell this police woman that now she's a police agent. There's so many blank pieces still. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if we'll get anything this season.
Yeah.
To tie this stuff up.
And
I feel like that, I think that's all of, again, it feels like Chibnall heard through the grapevine that we wanted more information about the characters. And so he's just dropped all this on us where there could have been hints. When, if it's a sister, and again, that's not clear, but when Yaz's family gets together last season, there could have been mention of it. There are places where these things could have been dropped in. And same thing as we're about to come to for Ryan and his friend. All of a sudden we were meeting this guy that might have been at the basketball game.
I have to say. Ryan has friends, darling.
I'd have to go back and look. But this is, for all intents and purposes, this is the first time we're seeing this guy.
His best mate.
And his best mate, quote unquote. And we're discovering that...
Was he at the funeral?
Yeah. Who knows? And we're discovering that he is having some depression issues. And it's hard to care.
Well, yeah, and it's also, and again, I mean, look, I was going to say, what happened? You could just have depression. Obviously, you don't need to necessarily have a reason. And so, but it's unclear. Is it depression? Is it an event-based trauma? What is it?
Yeah.
Because I'm trying to remember. I mean, I just watched it yesterday. You think I'd remember? Oh, well, he's talking about with his group at the end there, which also confused me because it was like in someone's house. You just have.
Yeah, I don't know. It felt almost like it was in a dorm room. That was weird, but
whatever.
It's fine.
Maybe the group therapy is cushy because then who was in charge, or is it just a group that meets? It doesn't matter. I suppose. But anyway, clinically it matters. But anyway, but he's like, I'm trying to even remember this. Like I remember something about he wanted some social contact, and he went to the shop,
grocery store,
and it was an automatic, and they couldn't even have social. But I don't know. And again, maybe you don't need to know, but it would have been something substantive of what is going on with him. Because now that I care about this character.
Yeah, exactly. And again, we could have seen him in various places and popping up whenever, over the last 2 years, whenever Ryan's back on Earth. We don't have any sort of backstory. So then when all of this is dumped on us, we don't know what to do. I don't know what to do with it.
Right.
Necessarily. Are we going to find out more? I don't know.
Probably not.
Or is this just done? Was this just, hey, mental health is important? And it is. Don't get me wrong. This is not me saying it is not important. But, okay, we've done our mental health episode. Off we pop.
And then, I didn't get this part at all, but maybe you did. And I guess if you had asked me, what's the big issue with this episode? I would not have gotten mental health, but just now that I've sat down and read the TARDIS.wikia, I'm like, oh, this wasn't it was lost on me, people. I'm sorry. I mean, now that I think about it and everyone, obviously, especially, I would have gotten, which we'll talk about at the end, is that at the end it did feel like it was very, not so depressing or somber, But, like, the music and the event sort of made this a very, I don't know what's the right word, down episode. Well, I mean, I don't know, just, it was not a happy episode. So whatever the opposite of happy. But not sadness. But at the end, it's like everyone needed to talk to someone about what they experienced. And we can talk about how that worked out. But we have Tahira, if I'm saying that name correctly, from Aleppo. Because I guess now every episode we have to have our historical guest star. So that was a mental hospital, apparently. I did not get that at all. I had to read the TARDIS.wiki entry.
Okay, I did not get that either.
I didn't either.
I got that it was a hospital.
Because apparently she had, some mental issues.
So she was a patient.
Because I got hospital.
Right.
But I didn't get mental hospital. And
yeah, I got hospital too. I did not get mental hospital. I also didn't get that she was a patient.
Yeah. So apparently she was having issues, and that's... Yeah, I didn't get that.
Okay.
Maybe the rest of y'all listening to this did, but I did not.
No, I didn't get that bit either.
So, but she seemed nice enough, even though she's creating monsters in her head,
which then come to life, which is not cool.
And I don't know nothing or very little about Syria, but seeing I don't even know what you call that thing, the Aleppo, how it's on the whatever you call. I don't even know what to call that. The city on a rock. I don't know what you call that, but anyway, it's very interesting to see. And then we get the bad guys, the Eternals or the Guardians or whatever you want to call them, the Immortals. What'd you think about Fingerless McGee and Bad Girl?
Not even a little bit of caring.
Well, it was the Fingerless McGee was scary.
Yeah, he absolutely was, and it was, I'm a god, and it moved to the story where it needed to go. Done. Mm-hmm. Wash my hands of it.
There is, as I mansplained this part, there is some classic allusions.
Okay.
I don't know if you remember him talking about the toy maker.
When he said that, I wondered.
The Celestial Toy Maker is a... Oh gosh, I know everyone can yell at me. I'm probably get this wrong. I think it's a First Doctor episode or First Doctor. But anyway, and so there's you remember from the Fourth Doctor, the Key of Time series. That was the person who gave him that mission was the White Guardian, and then it's the Black Guardian.
Okay.
Or the bad, but they're both the Eternals and Guardians and all that. But anyway, so I thought the animation was interesting.
Yeah.
It probably works better when you're not watching commercials, but because it's hard to know that I'm watching Doctor Who.
I know. I fast forwarded past the commercials and then was like, oh no, that's part of the show. Back it up, people.
But that they're sort of the troublemakers of the galaxy. Yeah, I think as I told Shar, texted her, it's kind of a tricky dicky ending. It was sort of like, magic orb, bad guy, boom. Now you guys are in the magic orb, and the monsters. Yeah, I'm like, okay, that's okay, done. I guess. Tick.
Yeah.
I didn't.
Deus Ex Machina.
I guess Deus Ex Sphere Monstera.
Yeah.
So
don't throw it in the air.
Yeah, not doing that again.
Yeah.
It reminded me of one of my favorite funny lines from this episode because Graham delivers it so great about
Bradley Walsh.
Bradley Walsh. And, doctor's like, can you recognize the planet? He's like, yeah, give me A to Z of the... No.
Yep. And I immediately thought, do I need to explain the A to Z to Phillip? No,
right,
he knows
there.
that. Yeah, we've got one. I do have to say, for all of that, the Doctor was quite delightful in this. Mm-hmm. Really quite delightful, I thought. I loved the fact that she was wandering around explaining things, and then she was like, I'm on my own. All right, we'll split up. You guys go, I'm on me. That was some lovely stuff, I thought. I feel like, particularly with this episode and then the next one that we're going to talk about, her character is really starting to solidify, and I like it.
I liked her too. Now, I want to talk about the ending here, unless you have any other thoughts, about who gets to talk to who. So Yas talks to her sister, in as much as she does. I can't remember anything
earth-shattering, yeah. And presumably she also talks to the policewoman.
That's true. But so Yas has, outside of her TARDIS fam, has outlets, even though she, her sister's annoying, but her sister cooks now, so that's good.
Yeah.
So they're all growing up without her. And she has her family. So even though they drive her nuts, she is a very family person. Ryan has his best mate, who he
encourages to
bribes.
talk to someone else.
Yes, yeah. And so then you get sort of a secondary. He gets to have someone to talk to. Graham, which I think is the old man of the group, and I don't know whether he feels comfortable talking with his friends or just because it's all the weird stuff, he has to go talk to the doctor. But he's kind of like, I thought, you would understand this or whatever. And of course, the doctor. This is, I don't know if you're.
It's like, I'm going to awkwardly go look at this screen now, and then later I'm going to think of something supportive I should have said.
No, I don't know if there's as much as anything can be a controversy. That's been a controversial scene. People thought that she was being not good to Graham. Not, caring.
Yeah, and I didn't get that at all.
No, I took her at her word that she's socially awkward.
Yeah.
She reminded me, in this episode, she reminded me of 11 a lot. She seemed to be in touch with her Matt Smith in this episode.
Yes, yeah. And yeah, I'm sad that there wasn't some sort of resolution to it. Like, it would have been fantastic if she had done that. I'm just going to go here and stand here awkwardly in front of this screen, and I'm really socially awkward, and then have a moment, and then maybe go, oh, I know what to say, and give him some pat. But being married to someone who does not always know exactly the best way to comfort. And it's a very British thing, I'll put the kettle on, which is what you do. We practice.
That's right.
Comfort, so that when I need it, I can be like, okay, remember what we practiced, darling.
And I think it's one of those things you could talk about with the doctor because, heretofore, the 13 is obviously the most, well, I don't know if the most, but one of the most compassionate doctors there are, incarnations, very TARDIS fam, all that stuff. But I think this moment does recognize that she is still the doctor, there's times when, 8 was there for Ace, and, we could go down the list, and then 10 was there for his people. But anyway, but still...
7 was there for Ace.
Yes, sorry. 7 was there for Ace.
I got to correct you on a Doctor Who reference. High five, baby. Woo!
I was thinking, I don't want to say 6.
All right, that was me high-fiving myself because you were not there for me, baby. Remember, we've talked about this. We've practiced.
Still, it's the Time Lord that we know as a doctor who's not always there.
Well, and I think that we, again, not to jump straight into the next one,
sure.
But we see it there, too. Mm-hmm. When she was like, how I talk about it's all flat and even. It's not. It's a mountain, and I'm at the top of it. And
it's funny because now having said that she was 11 in that episode, in The Haunting of the Villa, she might be a little 12-y. That's a little bit of, look,
Yeah.
There are decisions that I have to make. I'm the Time Lord.
Yeah.
You're the pudding brain.
And also, we're not letting one person die.
Right.
That's not the thing we're going to do.
All right. Well, want to give us the synopsis for this next one?
Yes, I was going to say, let's move on. The Doctor and her companions visit Mary Shelley on the fateful night in 1816 when she creates Frankenstein. But all is not as it seems. The rooms of Villa. I saw the next word coming up, and I was like, I'm not sure how to pronounce it. And so then I mispronounced Villa. So Villa Diodati keep shifting around, and ghosts are stalking the halls. And the group soon remember a familiar warning: beware the lone cyberman. Do not let it have what it wants. But why is Percy Shelley not where he should be, according to history? Bum, bum, bum.
No, I remember reading, and I probably said this before in another episode, that, there's no American story rooms or, writer rooms like they have. But they reading an article about how Chibnall runs it, they still have kind of like tonal things. But to me, this is 2 scaries in a row. Like, they're very somber. Maybe that was the word I needed to figure out. The previous episode was somber. Scary, too. I mean, Fingerless McGee. Yeah. And then this one is scary.
Uh-huh. Also fingers.
Yeah. And so, it just seemed like... And again, because we literally watched them, one after the other. Well,
ish. Yeah. That didn't bother me.
Mm-hmm. Funny episode. Anyway.
Because I feel like we're building.
Right.
And also, I think to answer that question, are there any funny episodes? I think the Doctor is exerting quite a lot of humor in this.
Yeah.
Again, feels like she's finding her Doctor, and it's kind of fun to watch. I like her.
Yeah, this one, because I did like the Doctor frustrated. I felt like when she couldn't get into the room, she just try to surprise the exit and jump in and jump out.
Yep.
But anyway.
Mrs. Doctor,
yes.
I enjoyed. Also, Lord Byron hitting on her and her being like, I like your daughter. She's nice. Really smart.
Well, let's talk about our guest stars here. We have
Yep.
more than this, but the big three, of course, are Lord Byron, Mary Shelley, and Percy Shelley.
Yes.
So what did you think of Lord Byron? What did you think of the whole setup?
This is one time where I wasn't particularly overly stressed about
The guest stars.
the guest stars and the huge number of them.
Because, of course, we had the doctor and the butler and the nanny and all that.
Yeah, and it was a lot, but it was like a lot of them were peripheral. And it really was Lord Byron and Mary Shelley for the most part. I mean, we don't see Percy until later on. Almost, I would say, three quarters of the way through the episode before Percy shows up. So, yeah, it didn't bother me. I liked Lord Byron a lot. I thought he was really fun. I thought the actor who portrayed him just gave it enough, it never felt heavy-handed. The insatiable flirting. It was light. It was lovely.
Yeah, watching the Doctor escape flirting, which we've seen when he was a man as well, but seeing it as a female is interesting. Of course, non-threatening flirting, of course.
Yes.
So it was. What about Mary, who's the sort of theoretical lead?
Theoretical lead. Yeah, she was fine.
No.
I'll be honest, I got her and her sister mixed up at one point. It was fine.
To the extent that people care about such things, this does mess with a little bit of Big Finish, because Mary does play the Eighth Doctor's companion for a little bit.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, anyway.
Seems like I vaguely remember that.
Yeah.
Maybe it's before this or after this.
I don't know. I can't. I mean, I just know of it.
Yeah, we haven't gotten there yet. I liked the bit. I liked the bit when she was talking to the Cyberman and being like, "You spared my child," and at the very least, distracting him while they figure the rest of and you see the light bulb. It felt again a little bit Deus Ex Machina. That we didn't get hints of any of this, really. I didn't feel like. But that's okay. That's all right. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I did like, I think I liked the previous episode better. This one was sort of like,
oh, no, I think I liked this one better.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, I liked the ghost element in the first half when we didn't know that it's basically Percy. Not explaining the daughter-mother thing that Graham saw. So, that's left up there. And then the perception filter, which has come up every now and then, 11 with some of his villains. So, but to see them using that,
yeah, and I really loved it, and I loved the fact that the doctor, the physician,
right,
was walking through the walls, and that's what made them realize it when he was sleepwalking, and that's what made them realize it. I thought that was quite a cool little touch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, what did you think of the lone Cyberman? Do not give him what he wants.
Yeah, I didn't understand the whole thing, I'll be honest.
I didn't either. So, the Cyberninium, whatever the heck they called it, in as much as it is,
the Quicksilver stuff.
The hard drive of the Cybermen or whatever that's been sitting in the past. That
somebody took out, so it'll be interesting to see.
Yeah. And then...
And is that who the other doctor is? Is it like an alternative dimension?
I don't know. And then, how did Jack know about it? Of course.
Yeah.
He's just giving prophecies now,
Yeah, okay. These things happen.
How would he know?
Yeah.
And then, who is the lone Cyberman? Like, what?
Yeah. Yeah. Considering we've seen so much Cyberman evolution... Mm-hmm. But I did really like the fact that the doctor was like, I'm not losing another person to a Cyberman. I mean, that, I was like, Bill? Where's Bill?
And
I know Danny, but...
No, I was also going to add, because someone did a little mosaic, that's why I was thinking about this. Adric. He was in the little cyber shuttle.
These things happen.
Again, not a lot explained when you think about it. But, again, theoretically, maybe it'll explain, but maybe it won't be. So...
Yeah,
now
we'll see.
the ending, or at least the last part with, it's in Percy, and the Cyberman wants to kill Percy to extract it, and then the Doctor does a little Time Lord trick, lets him see his death, which scares the Cyberninium or whatever it's called out of him. The Doctor gets it in her, and then the Cyberman's like, give it back or I'll kill the planet, and she's like, okay. But like the sort of the moments between, Ryan saying, "Oh, just kill Percy," and all the other moments. I don't know. From a writing standpoint, it's not very satisfying.
No, and it's also...
And I'm not saying there should be like, oh, then the good guys win. I mean, no, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying the no-win situation. I mean, I guess maybe that's the point of the whole two-parter at the end.
Yeah, maybe. And also, it's the difficulty of doing it with a historical figure because... As we all know, Shelley's going to die fairly soon anyway. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, why not kill him? I'm down with it. He drowns.
Okay. Well, because I saw... Because, again, without knowing, the hand... I thought it was sort of reviewing or getting the Cyberninian... I forget what it's actually called. Point of view of the hand grabbing in the water. Mm. And so I didn't get what the symbol is, but I guess the water.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. So, yeah. Mm-hmm. I think it's okay.
And you wanted to kill the baby too, right?
No, I think the baby dies. These things happen.
Mm-hmm. So you have the little Doctor's mini speech about life, and then giving and then she's spends most of this episode trying to get rid of her companions because, as you said, she doesn't want to put them in danger. But at the end, they're all like, "Let's do it.
Let's go fix whatever it is we just broke."
Mm-hmm. And then this leads us into the two-part finale.
Yep.
Any final thoughts about The Haunting?
I am happier with these two last episodes. I feel like it's heading somewhere. I feel like all of them. I feel like things are going to tie a little bit. Last time we talked, I was not a happy camper. I'm feeling better now.
A little disappointed that there sort of haven't been big episodes. Like, in other words, I'm thinking about rewatchability. Like, what episode from this series so far, because there's two left, would I like, oh, we're going to watch this one again? So other than Spyfall, which should be interesting. I mean, we've seen it like twice already. Yep. But they're not a lot.
I would rewatch these last two. Yeah.
So, I mean, like, again, I'm trying to think, like, the big ones, like Demons of Punjab and
Rosa.
Yeah. I mean, there's not, like, that level from this series. Other than Spyfall, again. Which maybe those are the two, because that counts as two episodes. But, that's sort of the first two. I hate for there to be nothing after that.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Let's see how they finish it.
Sure. But anyway, well, with that, let's go into the TARDIS library.
Whoosh, whoosh.
When you close your eyes,
I go to the library.
Go to the library now.
All right, we're going to be talking about the Big Finish production with the Eighth Doctor of Living Legend. It premiered 13 November 2003, and can you read the brief synopsis?
The world faces imminent destruction when Italy wins the World Cup. Can the fabled time lady...
Charlie O. Ostentatious.
Okay. Charlie O. Ostentatious save humanity from the dreaded Phillip Empire, or will her idiot assistant, the Doctor, ruin everything?
Now, this was a sort of a special Big Finish production. It was actually, I think, a CD that came with some issues of Doctor Who magazine, or monthly, in 2003, and so it's just a shorty. But what did you think of the Doctor and Charlie on a random adventure?
Yeah, I thought it was fun. It was cute. It was little.
Mm-hmm. Now, we were meant to picture them, or picture her at least, in her Time Lord outfit.
Which I did at times.
Mm-hmm. Without actually knowing what she looks like, right? Yeah. I don't know what to do officially. But yeah, so this is with the Doctor and Charlie at the World Cup, and Charlie learning what the World Cup is and learning what Italians do, I guess, when they go crazy. We have the Phillip Empire. I don't know the two guys, General or Colonel or Captain, what's his face?
Right, yeah.
And his assistant, blah, blah, blah.
Yep, that was what his name was.
Now, I'm not familiar with it. Great Expectations. Is there actually a parallel to that?
I don't know. I missed that a little bit. I'd have to think about it.
So, of feeding one man's ego and another man's, I don't know, whatever the opposite of ego is, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. Morality.
Well, having the assistant that after his years of servitude, he doesn't get any mention.
Yeah, isn't remembered.
Right. I mean, I really like it. Was funny.
Oh, okay. Yes.
Okay.
It would be.
Explain it then.
Sorry. I'm guessing it would be the comparison of Pip and Estelle, I think, who is Miss Havisham's ward. And she, I think, it's been a long time, folks.
All I can picture is Ethan Hawke and Gwyneth Paltrow. Even though I've never seen the movie, I just know that's...
Okay.
Yes.
Yep. And, Estelle was raised higher than her standing, really, and Pip was not. And then Pip ends up having the money at the end and from the convict. And like I say, it's been a long time, but these are the things that I vaguely remember.
Sure. But yeah, I think the voice synthesizer for the two alien. Well, of course they're all aliens, aren't they? Even the Doctor. But anyway, for the two bad guys, it was a little throwing me off. I mean, whatever. It's a comedy. Enjoy it. So, but yeah, just stroking the captain's ego or whatever he was as he is in charge but doesn't actually know how to do anything, and then his poor lowly tech who's been with him, and then the Doctor. Or wait. Charlie convinces him that in the memoirs that he's never mentioned at all, except, which seems very Caesar-y, except as, something that gets run over and it was funny and ha ha ha.
Yeah.
And so...
Yeah, it was cute.
He gets the other one drunk because he says that the plague on the planet is basically the Italians going crazy. And that's the antidote. And he's got to drink that. Yeah, and he's like, and the plague.
So then, when he starts stumbling, he thinks he
has the plague.
Yep, all those
and
things.
Drinks more wine.
Yep.
Yeah, and then he's drunk. The other guy's angry, beats him over the head. They all go in the portal. Though I did at the end was really, I felt non-doctory. And the Doctor's like, "All right, all done. Let's go have fun." Charlie's like, "What about the big portal?" What are you gonna do? Like, I think we should really dismantle the portal. Fine, Mom. We did get, which we've listened to, though it's been a while and I remember it being slightly annoying, but the other part of this Big Finish production is sort of as, because it's such a shorty, they go into the background of the making of Zathraeus, which a lot of interviews with all the classic Who people that participated, and I guess this was the 40th anniversary, so before, of course, Doctor Who returned to TV, so it was interesting to sort of hear them that it was only existed on Big Finish as the only ones who could celebrate Doctor Who.
Yeah, and I thought that was quite cool, and bringing everybody back by having them play all the other characters, and
because that is one thing I remember. It's very trippy as I remember Zathraeus, because it's Charlie through Wonderland basically, because they're using the Alice through Wonderland metaphor. That's not the word, but anyway. But, encountering Colin Baker as a vampire and Sylvester McCoy as this toy maker or whatever, who I think is a robot or I don't know. And then it's very weird and interesting. So
sort of Alice in Wonderland meets Wizard of Oz.
Yeah, but let's
you were there, and you were there.
Let's all remember the Brigadier, which I think that's the secret they're trying to keep there. Nicholas Briggs is the Brigadier, who's sort of the assistant to Charlie, guiding her through. It turns out, I guess, to be the bad guy or whatever.
Yeah. I'd forgotten. It's been a long time since we've listened to it. Yeah. But I enjoyed the interviews. Yeah. That was fun.
Yeah, so it was an interesting one to I forget if I paid for it or not. But anyway, it's on Big Finish.
Did you steal it?
Well, I don't know if it was free or not. But if it wasn't, obviously it wasn't that much. So it's something to check out.
Yep, definitely.
So, all right. Well, guess what we're talking about next week, darling?
The finale.
Well, part 1 of the part 2 finale with Ascension of the Cybermen. So we get more Cybermen. And we'll go from there, and hopefully our companions make it to the end.
We'll see.
Do we get... Well, and spoiler, the last episode, I believe, is called The Timeless Children. So we're going to learn about... Theoretically.
Don't get your hopes
up. This whole Gallifrey storyline, which really hasn't been much of an arc.
Nope.
I mean, we got the flashback in as much as it was in Can You Hear Me with the Doctor. But, I mean, that's just like, oh, we remember there's an arc too. But beyond that. Well, thanks as always to Wally and the Sononauts for providing us with their jazz Doctor Who theme tune. And until next week, enjoy the Doctor's many adventures throughout time and space.
This is BBC Television.